So obviously we get carried away, don't we? It's easy to with the overreactions, but you boys have picked a few overreactions, you could say, that you think actually might come true come the end of the season. So Troy, you've gone for Manchester United not finishing in a Champions League place come the end of the season. Yeah,
I've been strong on this since the start of the season. I think the only way they will get in is if we get 5 places again. Maybe they'll finish 5th, maybe 6th. I'm just not sold on the whole Michael Carrick is the answer. And you know, respectfully to Michael, he did unbelievably well last year in terms of creating what the group needed. They only lost 2 games, a lot of draws within that. But he got the feel-good factor again. And I just think that Man United have started to try and convince people that what they're doing is the way to do it. But they're not spending at the top table. We're going to show you a little a graph on the net spends of what they've done. They're not up there competing and spending 100, 150 million, getting the top players. Now it's in a different market. They're getting the likes of Youri Tielemans in there. Just look at this net spend here. It's minus 52 million. They're doing okay. This is not in a situation that's going to close the gap. When you're 8th and the one below you is Brighton and Hove Albion, who we know do really good business. Sunderland, who we know need to do a lot more. It just feels to me that they're in this situation where they have to go out and really fix things. And we're talking now of a new era. Still got the same back four. You still got Luke Shaw playing. You still got Harry Maguire in there. You still got young lads having to come and try and fill the void in young Heaven, who's in there. You know, the likes of Delit injured yet again. There's a shock horror. Got Mazraoui, who they were telling us 3 years ago wasn't good enough. Now he's starting. He's telling us the lad who's not the best, he's still coming into the pitch. Marcus Rashford, who they've been trying to get rid of for 2.5 years, by the way, is the first sub that you bring into the pitch. Like, this whole fantasy dream that they're selling you, that it's like, you know, it's building, it's coming back. You know, I'm going to get into it a little bit later on with this tweet, but it's becoming acceptable to lose to Hull. It's becoming acceptable.
They didn't have their best 11, did they, which is the caveat, and they made 53 million on that graphic, by the way. It was Casemiro and Sancho that were the notable departures. This is a look at the best 11 you think that we could see this season. Yeah, and again, I want to be the most respectful I can be, but I've got to be honest as well, right? Luke Shaw, when fit and available, very good. But if you start a sentence with when fit and available, can't be in the very good category. Martinez, as is shown, very good, but also a bit of a hothead. De Ligt has been at top clubs. Everyone gets rid of him because he's never fit and available, unfortunately. That when people's body give up that space. Right back for me, just not good enough to be in that bracket, unfortunately. Youri Tielemans, they took from Aston Villa. Again, 29, taking him from Aston Villa. That's not making Man United push on to try and close the gap to your Liverpools, your Man Cities and your Arsenals. It's far between. Andre Santos, who they got from Chelsea, who I actually quite like, but didn't play at all for Chelsea last year, by the way, who finished 10th. Then you've got Cunha, they got from Wolves. You got Mbeumo, who they got from Brentford. And you got Fernandes, who unfortunately is getting older with time. So how much more longer have you got of him in terms of his energy and output? And Šeško, who they didn't actually want. They wanted Gyökeres first. And they went around the houses and landed on this young man who has a massive upside. What is he, 22, 23 years of age? But he's 6'3", 6'4", doesn't win many headers, isn't physical, and also doesn't prove to you that he's going to score goals. So for that team, with that money spent...
Will Baliba make a difference in the team?
He will make a difference, but again, you're getting him from Brighton. Do you understand? Like, you're not taking these from top clubs and bringing into the squad to move this Man United needle forward. And that's not saying you can't take 1 or 2 players from lesser clubs and make you better, because obviously that has happened throughout the course of time. However, you still need to have people that are used to winning things, people that are at that top level, and then drive the standards forward. And at the moment, everyone who's coming in is looking at Man United like, this is quite nice. Hull showed you the template. Run hard, tackle, cross the ball in the box. They can't defend.
Baliba of 3 years old will make a difference. Not the Baliba we've seen in the last 2 or 3 years. There's no doubt in his talent, but he needs to be of that Baliba of 3 years ago performance.
But also the weird thing that they do, they last summer, they went big in the front areas. They got Cunha, Mbeumo and Šeško. Just went there. This summer they're going midfield. So it's going to take next summer for them to fix the back line. By the time you've got that, it's like my wife in the house.
Oh boy.
She does the kitchen, then she starts doing the bathroom. Then she goes upstairs. By the time we finish, she goes, I want a new kitchen.
That's normal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's where Man United
more
are.
rooms than my wife.
But you know, they're back. It's always a cycle. You have to get better all the time.
It does feel...
And then this is the tweet. Sorry, Papa, this is the tweet that sent me over the edge. They've just lost to Hull away from home. Onwards and upwards. We're together. This is Man United, man.
Now we run.
This is Man United. You know, the onwards and upwards is not good enough. I'm sorry. This club
do you
is
want them
one
to
of...
put out nothing, though? What do you want them to say there?
Not good enough.
Better say
Will be
no.
better.
Yeah, but
Better to say nothing.
They can't put that, Troy. They can't put
Yes,
that
they
was not
can.
good enough
They
today.
can.
What Premier
happened-
League team puts that out?
Because this is the point, though. That's you've just led me onto it. They take you down this PR stunt of onwards and upwards. You know why? Because what does this Premier League club want to do? Have a good, positive image. Want you to buy more stuff, buy more season tickets, buy more shirts. That's what they want you to do. Man United was built on what? Winning. Winning.
Correct.
Historically, just built on winning. When you lose to Hull, when they say onwards and upwards, that says to the rest of the world, it's okay. It's okay that we lost to
Same
Hull.
old United,
Fairy tale end.
isn't it?
It's
3
okay.
steps forward, 10 steps back.
Onwards and upwards is embarrassing for a club of the size of Man United. Sorry, Nigel. For a club of the size of Man United, onwards and upwards is embarrassing.
You know what? To add insult to injury as well. If you didn't know, the trains back to Manchester from Hull were cancelled as well, and they found out at half-time. So the
Should
whole
let the
fans
players walk.
were singing to them, so it wasn't great. Arsenal, on the other hand, let's talk about them. Arsenal have already won the Premier League. That was one of the overreactions that you think, Grella, is actually true.
I do think it's true. Again, they're even more favorites than Inter, similar to Serie A, in that there's nobody really that can challenge them in the field. We've seen Manchester City under Maresca. They've got big struggles there. Liverpool still trying to find new managers, still trying to find who they are and trying to find a time for improvement. Chelsea, they've got 7,000 players in their team, trying to figure out who they're
all under the age of 10.
All under the age of 10. They're trying to reinvent the game in some ways in off the field. Then you got Manchester United. We just spoke about Tottenham. Are they going to be in another relegation match? I just don't see a team. I think at the level that Arsenal are at, how organized they are. What was I going to say? You have to be perfect across the Premier League. The margins are so thin, and those teams still need weeks and months and to figure out how they're going to be the best of what they can be. And Arsenal already there. Arsenal in Arsenal's worst games, they still win the game.
Who do you feel more confident in, by the way? Arsenal to win the league, Inter to win their league, or PSG to win Liga?
That's a great question. Probably PSG.
PSG.
Probably PSG.
Even though today they were losing 2-0 and come back to make it 2-2 with Rennes.
Just a point, yeah.
Good point.
No, I think now this year I fancy Arsenal more than those guys, and the reason being is just the strength and depth, the overhaul of every other team with every other manager trying to implement their style, and just the fun fact of, I think now the big thing Arsenal will look at is that Champions League, because they haven't won it. It's the one trophy that they haven't won, so they'll be able to do what a PSG do in November, December, which is, okay, no problem, we can take a Declan Rice out because we can put a Bruno Guimaraes in there now. Do you get what I mean? We can take 2 or 3 different players out. If they want to take Saliba out or Gabriel out, no problem, we put Ezri Konsa in. It's the depth is so good, they're not going to change the way that they play, and they're in a wonderful position where it's just like, next man up, because all these are going to trip over themselves.
Yeah.
Man United just lost to Hull.
Well, that's one end of the scale. Just before we go, though, what about the other end of the scale? Aston Villa to be relegated this season.
What a day. What a day.
That is not what I said. You're putting words in my mouth. I said my overreaction is Aston Villa could be in a relegation fight. And the reason why I say that, Poppy, is they've lost so many top players. When sometimes and these guys know it's one thing to lose players. It's not easy to replace. When you're losing players of that importance, you talk about Tielemans, you talk about Morgan Rogers. We don't know if Martinez is still going to be at the club. Who's
apparently Ollie Watkins today.
Ollie Watkins as well.
He was the one who said he didn't want to play.
Ollie Watkins, which the managers come out and said, basically, let Ollie explain himself of why he's not here today, or call his agent, which isn't great. We don't have a striker. The young lad who actually did well in the Super Cup, he's injured now all of a sudden. So I think for me, I worry about Villa with the lack of depth in the squad, how poor defensively we look. And you're talking about a team that's going to compete in the Champions League and Premier League this year, and they haven't replaced those top players. Garnacho, for me, is not going to be the answer. So I do worry that Villa could be in a bit of a relegation scrap this year.
How do you think
it's
they'll do
a
in the
lot.
Champions League?
I think Champions League, just go out and enjoy yourself. I think, listen, Unai Emery's a top manager for me still, but even us now, we can't criticise him with what he's had to work with, what he's had to do with.
No.
We've just shown the net spend. You saw Villa were top of that category, which is the whole PSR thing, which is making it very difficult.
I just want to ask you on that really quickly. So they were, if you could just throw that graphic up in the back again, and Villa were top. I think it was 159
Yeah, and then Forest
million.
were behind us.
But if you're sold that much talent and you're still selling talent, how badly have they spent over the last 2 to 3 years that PSR is still a thing? Because that's a massive amount of money.
It's also how the rules are set, though, with the revenue, and obviously you have to redevelop your grounds and everything to compete with the private members club of the top clubs like
But look
Man
at that,
United.
152.6 million. And you're potentially getting another, I think it's another 70 to 80 million for Ollie Watkins. So you're going to be in that 250 mark. Where's it going? And also, on the flip side to it, the players you're bringing in, while some of them are younger, like a Manzambi, a very, very good young player, you're looking at like Harwood Bellis, with respect, from the EFL. Like, it just feels.
It's balancing
like
the books. It doesn't make sense. And I said that's why I'm really worried this time round.